So I received an email the other day from someone who expressed interest in having me speak in the new year. And it brought me back to when I first started having one call closes. One call closes is a term that I coined when I started to experience people saying yes to my $5,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000, $25,000 offers in a single sales conversation. A prospect would come to a sales call, and not only would they say yes to my premium value offer, they would pay before the sales calls ended. And I didn't have that experience before. And so I started to say, let me document, what am I doing to create these results over and over and over again, where I'm having an 80% close rate. And then I shared these with clients, and clients were saying, oh my gosh, I'm having people say yes to my $8,000 offer in a single sales conversation, and say yes to my $10,000 offer in a sales conversation, and say yes to my highest level offer in a sales conversation. And that gave birth to the one call close framework. So today I want to share with you the first three things that are part of the framework. See, I made a decision that I'm no longer going to wing these sales calls, that I'm going to implement a system and utilize skills that work. That I know the 1%, the top 1% of salespeople do. And so today I want to share with you the first three things, because I see many women entrepreneurs overlook it, and they're wondering, why aren't people saying yes to my offer when they reached out to me and expressed interest? So the first thing that I stopped doing is when people would express interest in working with me and learning about my coaching programs and wanting to know my fees, via email or DM or when I saw them at an event, I didn't answer their question right there. I invited them to qualify for us to meet at a later date. Like, this is really, really important. I wanted to qualify them, or really for them to qualify themselves, to see if it even made sense for them to learn about working with me. Like, were they qualified to pick up what I was going to lay down if we were to work together? And so this is about making a decision that you're not going to just go with the flow in the sales process. You're going to have a systematic approach. It's also really saying that I love myself so much that I'm not going to waste time, resources, and energy having a conversation with someone who doesn't even qualify to pick up what I'm going to lay down. And I love those that I'm called to serve so much that I'm going to help them answer a few questions that are going to help them see if they themselves qualify to take their business and life to the next level. So my invitation to you, and it may feel awkward, it may feel uncomfortable, but we all know that growth and quantum leaps happen when we do something we've never done. So start qualifying your leads and asking a few questions that those who have the best results, those that you experience the most joy, the most fun, the most ease working with, the characteristics that they have that are going to help you qualify a lead. And I want to say to this, I know so many of us as women entrepreneurs, we love what we do. We could do what we do all day, every day with the right people. because we're working in our anointing, we're working in our gifts. And sometimes when someone who we believe would be a fit based on some assumptions, we're so excited. We're like, oh my gosh, I can help you. But have you ever gone to your favorite store and seen or sensed a sales person who's like, oh my God, how can I help you? What do you need? And you're like, and instead of leaning forward, you lean back. You're like, calm down. So that same energetic of you just being excited to help someone can actually repel the person who you're meant to serve. So the second thing that I did, and I used systems. And the system that I still used is Calendly, was that I showed them social proof of people who had worked with me, a few people had worked with me, and the results that they produced. And the social proof that I showed were not only client testimonies, but I also started to give them links to podcasts that had proven to convert ideal clients so that they could have more of the 7 hours. You may have heard me say in previous videos that research has shown that people need 7 hours and 11 touch points before they say yes to your offer. Now, I also shared how there's times that I've needed 7 hours, but I made a decision that I was going to provide, utilize technology, right? And make it easy for the right people to say yes. Before we met, the second thing was to show them social proof, show them testimonies so that they could start to identify themselves and like, oh my gosh, this person looks and sounds like me, and look at the results that they got when working with Althea. So what I was doing is really being proactive in helping them overcome some of their silent objections and beginning to see themselves in past clients. I mean, we know the power of seeing ourselves in other people. I don't know about you, but it's like when I see a model, someone with my complexion, someone with locks at a store, something happens for me, right? That's why many of us, and I know there's some controversy, but one of the things I loved about Target is like in their ads, they would show different types of individuals. They would show, different sizes and different ages so that many people saw themselves wearing their clothes and could say, okay, that's me. We're doing that same thing because sales psychology is human psychology. We want to have it, we want to work with it so it helps us instead of trying to work against it. Like, that's not going to work. So the second thing I did, and the second thing I invite you to do, is give them social proof. And like I said, we're systemizing our business, right? And I love Calendly because you can set it up where after someone schedules an appointment, it lands on a page. And boom, the page that I have has all the testimonies. So it's right there. And also an opportunity for them to listen to a popular podcast or two, if they choose, so that I can, help them have those 7 hours. These are, again, the 3 things that I started to implement that people don't really talk about, that I want you to know, because you can put these in tonight, right? You can put these in today, and you are going to see that more people say yes to your offers, and you're going to make more money, and people are going to be eager. Like, it was so interesting because people were like, oh, I already knew. Althea, they had already started the process before we actually met. They're like, oh, I knew 5 minutes in that I was going to hire you. This is what helps me and my clients have one call closes. The third thing, and this all happens before we actually meet, is that I would tell them what to expect. One of the things that I know for sure with premium value clients is they're sick of back leading. They want to be led, they want to be heard, but they want to be led by a leader to help them make a decision that they already want to make. What's back leading? It's a term that I learned when I was taking salsa classes. And so many of us so many of us women would back lead. Instead of letting the lead, those of us who are partner dancers, know, like, the lead leads and the follow follows. But if you're back leading, it's the follower who's trying to lead the leader, and it does not work. And so many premium value clients are leading in all areas of their life. That's the role that they're used to, but they're actually secretly, quietly, desperately desiring a leader. That is you. To not only lead them in the transformation that they desire, but lead them in helping them make a decision if they want to invest in themselves through your offer. And so I just had a quick sentence, and I would have it I have it in at least 2 places where I'm very clear of what is going to happen on the sales call. We're not just winging it, right? We're taking a systematic approach, or I'm taking a systematic approach. I'm utilizing sales skills that can be learned because they're skills, and to see if it makes sense for us to work together. And so I let them know that, we're going to meet to see if we're the right fit. It's that simple. But it sets the tone that we're not just having a chatty conversation, that this is intentional. And it also preps them to know that when we work together, if they decide to say yes to themselves through my offer, that I'm intentional in the work that I do. So those are 3 things that I started to do that you can do today that are going to help you get to yes, right? Like, get more of the right people to say yes to themselves through your offer. And what you're really doing is you're showing up as a servant leader. You're showing up knowing that sales is not something you do to someone, it's something you do for someone. So I want to know in the comments, which of the 3 are you going to, or all, are you going to start implementing in your business today? And if you're like, Althea, I love this. I want to sell with more ease and more confidence, and I want to raise my fees so I can have people say yes to my $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, $12,000, $25,000, $50,000 offer, 6-figure offer in a single sales conversation, and pay me. Then I'd love for you to join me in my upcoming Raise Your Fees Challenge. In 5 days or less, you're going to learn how to confidently 10x your fees and attract premium value clients who value you. So I want you to go to raiseyourfeeschallenge.com now and join us for this powerful live transformational experience that will change how you think, price, and sell. I can't wait to see you there. Until then, take care. God bless. Love you. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos. Then click the TV to watch the next video. Make sure to go to AltheaMcIntyre.com and get instant access to my new training on the 7 biggest pricing mistakes women entrepreneurs make that keep them from making more money.